Retirement in America just hit a turning point, and most people have no idea it's happening. Costs are exploding in states that used to be safe bets. Taxes are rising. Insurance is spiraling. Healthcare access is shifting overnight. For millions of retirees, the state you choose could decide whether your money lasts or disappears. But here's the twist nobody expected. A handful of states are quietly becoming retirement powerhouses. Lower costs, safer communities, predictable budgets, actual long-term stability. In 2026, that's gold. And the gap between the best and worst places to retire is widening fast. Choose right, and you protect decades of savings. Choose wrong, and the fallout is brutal. Let's break down the 10 states that still get it right, starting with number 10, Tennessee. Some places earn trust slowly, and Tennessee is one of them. It does not sell excitement or big promises. It delivers something far more valuable: financial predictability. When retirement shifts into a fixed income reality, predictable math becomes protection, and Tennessee offers that protection in plain sight. With no state income tax, retirees keep thousands of dollars that would disappear elsewhere, and that steady savings shapes long-term security. Property taxes stay modest as well, averaging roughly 0.6% statewide, which means a homeowner paying on a place valued at $210,000 might owe little more than $1,260 a year. That matters when housing costs in other states swing wildly. Over the past 12 months, Tennessee's overall living expenses rose only slightly, and while energy prices pushed upward in several regions of the country, Tennessee's increases stayed controlled, confirmed by recent statewide utility reports. Healthcare stability also plays a major role. Medicare Advantage premiums in Knoxville, Chattanooga, and the surrounding areas climbed only around 3 to 4%, according to the most current Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services data. Compare that to regions where double-digit increases erased entire savings accounts, and the distinction becomes clear. Tennessee does not punish people for getting older. The safety profile strengthens the argument further. Crime rates across much of the state remain lower than national averages, which directly affects insurance costs that retirees feel every single year. When risk is lower, premiums stay in check, and the wallet breathes easier. Tennessee's value becomes even more visible when considering everyday life. Groceries, transportation, medical supplies, and home services remain manageable because the state has avoided the runaway pricing seen in other fast-growing regions. Here, the budget bends but rarely breaks, and that resilience is what makes Tennessee stand out in 2026. As Tennessee's steady footing becomes clear, the path turns toward a state where low costs are paired with an even quieter financial rhythm. Iowa. Quiet strength often hides in the places people overlook, and Iowa embodies that kind of dependable steadiness. It does not try to impress with flash or spectacle. Instead, it delivers something that matters far more in retirement: a financial environment that rarely delivers unpleasant surprises. When life shifts toward fixed income, predictability becomes a lifeline, and Iowa offers it with uncommon consistency. Living costs in Iowa rose only about 3.2% over the past year, according to current economic reports. That number may seem small, yet it carries real weight when other states experienced increases that doubled or tripled that pace. A home priced near $211,000 still remains within reach for many retirees, and homeowners are not battling the sharp insurance spikes seen in coastal markets. Premiums track lower here because risk stays lower, supported by stable weather patterns and safer communities. Healthcare costs reinforce the appeal. Medicare spending per enrollee remains significantly below the national average, according to long-term data from the Dartmouth Atlas of Healthcare. That means fewer surprise bills and fewer shock charges that strike without warning. Hospitals across the state score well for chronic condition management, which directly influences long-term medical expenses. Early intervention saves money, and Iowa excels at catching problems early. Crime rates across much of the state sit comfortably beneath national figures, helping keep insurance premiums grounded. Lower risk translates into lower annual expenses, and that creates predictable space in a retirement budget. Even daily purchases reflect restraint. Groceries, transportation, home maintenance, and medical supplies remain manageable because Iowa's markets avoided the volatile spikes that rattled other regions. Iowa's greatest strength is its refusal to behave unpredictably. Prices rise but slowly. Expenses shift but gently. Life stays steady. Retirement needs that kind of steadiness. especially in a world where too many states swing from one financial extreme to another. Leaving Iowa's calm reliability behind, the focus shifts toward a coastal region, offering ocean air without the financial sting. If insights like these help you plan smarter, make sure to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss the updates coming next. Share your thoughts below, because your experience helps others understand what's really happening across different states. South Carolina. Some states earn attention slowly, and South Carolina does it by offering something rare along the coastline: access to ocean living without insurance bills that empty a retirement account. While other coastal regions saw premium increases spiral into double digits, South Carolina kept its rise around 9%, according to the most recent insurer filings. That difference matters. A 9% increase on a home insured for $290,000 is manageable. A 20% or 30% jump, like what hit parts of the Gulf and Atlantic corridors, is not. Stability becomes its own form of protection, and South Carolina delivers that stability with surprising consistency. Communities from Greenville to Conway to Somerville have grown steadily because costs remain grounded, not inflated. These towns offer strong medical networks, anchored by systems such as the Medical University of South Carolina, which maintain competitive Medicare Advantage pricing and reliable specialist access. When healthcare stays accessible and insurance premiums remain reasonable, retirees avoid the unpredictable expenses that strain fixed budgets. Weather risk exists, but the numbers show it is handled with better balance. Storm preparation, upgraded building codes, and measured coastal development help keep claims lower than expected. That translates directly into more restrained insurance adjustments year after year. Even everyday costs reflect similar restraint. Groceries, transportation, utilities, and home services do not swing wildly, allowing monthly expenses to remain predictable. South Carolina also holds an advantage in lifestyle flexibility. Beaches, golf communities, state parks, and historic towns provide a sense of variety without requiring luxury-level spending. A retiree can enjoy coastal views without paying insurance premiums that resemble mortgage payments, and that is what sets this state apart in 2026. From the shoreline of South Carolina, the story heads toward a northern state where medical strength becomes the real financial shield: Minnesota. Strength in retirement often comes from knowing that the healthcare system around you will not fail when you need it most. And Minnesota stands out because it delivers that security with uncommon consistency. This is not a state that relies on reputation alone. It earns its place through measurable results. Preventable hospitalizations sit among the lowest in the entire nation, according to long-standing federal health studies, and that single statistic carries enormous weight. Fewer preventable emergencies mean fewer last-minute bills, fewer unexpected prescriptions, and fewer long nights wondering what the next charge will be. The influence of world-class systems, such as the Mayo Clinic, reaches far beyond one location. Their practices set statewide standards that improve early detection, reduce complications, and lower the odds of expensive health setbacks. When a state reduces readmission rates by meaningful margins year after year, the financial impact becomes undeniable. A retiree who avoids even one major hospitalization can save several thousands of dollars over time, and Minnesota gives its residents that kind of advantage more often than most regions. Medicare Advantage premiums across major Minnesota counties tend to remain below national averages based on current data from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. That steadiness protects fixed budgets, especially when other states saw increases move into double digits. Strong coordination between specialists, primary care networks, and rural medical centers creates reliable access, even in smaller towns. That reliability is worth more than it first appears. It means travel costs stay low. It means appointments do not stretch into stressful waiting periods. It means predictable outcomes, which translates directly into predictable spending. Daily living costs remain manageable as well. Groceries, utilities, home maintenance, and transportation track closer to the middle of the national range, offering a balanced environment that does not squeeze retirees from multiple sides. Winters can be harsh, but the financial trade-off often favors those who prioritize long-term healthcare security over seasonal comfort. After seeing how healthcare can reshape a retirement budget, attention moves to a place where disciplined management forms the backbone of stability: Utah. Financial strength is not loud. It does not shout or demand attention. It shows up in steady budgets, controlled taxes, and a sense that the ground beneath you will not shift without warning. Utah has built that kind of foundation over decades, and the results are undeniable. The state entered 2026 with one of the highest budget surpluses per person in the nation, a figure that signals discipline rather than luck. When a state manages its money well, residents feel it through stable taxes, reliable services, and fewer abrupt increases that tear into retirement income. Property taxes in many Utah counties rise slowly, often just a few percentage points each year, according to recent municipal filings. That controlled movement matters because sudden jumps can destroy a fixed budget. Utility costs also remain moderate, supported by a diverse energy mix that reduces volatility. These details may seem small, yet together they create a financial environment that does not punish people who plan ahead. Healthcare follows that same steady pattern. Medicare Advantage premiums across the Wasatch Front typically grow at a slower rate than national averages. Based on current Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services data, hospitals and clinics maintain strong performance scores, and access to specialists remains reliable. That reliability prevents urgent travel, last-minute expenses, and the emotional strain of unpredictable medical logistics. Utah's safety profile strengthens the financial picture further. Crime rates stay low across much of the state, reducing insurance risk and helping premiums remain manageable. Lower risk means fewer claims, and fewer claims mean more stable pricing. Even daily living costs reflect restraint. Groceries, transportation, and home maintenance remain within the middle range of national averages, avoiding the extreme swings seen in faster-growing regions. Once Utah's balanced structure comes into view, the journey leads toward one of the remaining holdouts of true affordability: Alabama. Affordability has become rare in this country, yet Alabama still delivers it without cutting away the essentials that matter in retirement. This is one of the few places where a budget can breathe. The numbers tell the story plainly. The median home price sits near $205,000, a level that remains accessible even as other southern markets pushed far beyond reach. Property taxes average around 0.4%, which means a homeowner with a place valued at $250,000 might owe only around $1,000 a year. That kind of annual stability sets the tone for everything that follows. Living costs here remain among the lowest in the nation. According to the most recent calculations from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology living wage model, a retired couple can cover annual expenses on roughly $48,000, a figure that would be unrealistic in many regions. Groceries, utilities, transportation, and home repairs all track below national averages, offering a rare sense of control in a time when prices seem to climb without pause. Healthcare access strengthens Alabama's position further. Huntsville, Birmingham, and Mobile support hospital networks that rank well for cardiac care, surgical outcomes, and chronic condition management. Medicare Advantage premiums in these areas remain competitive, rising at a slower pace than states under heavier strain. When healthcare stays steady, retirement planning becomes clearer, and Alabama gives that clarity more often than not. Insurance costs benefit from the state's geography. While storms do strike along the Gulf Coast, much of Alabama sits inland, reducing exposure and keeping premiums moderate. Lower risk translates directly into lower yearly expenses. Even home services, from electrical work to plumbing to basic maintenance, remain reasonably priced because the local labor market has not inflated to the levels seen in larger metropolitan regions. Alabama offers a grounded, practical retirement environment, one where the essentials cost less and the surprises come fewer and farther between. With its affordability established, the path now leads toward a place where long-term health outcomes shape financial strength just as much as tax policy. Colorado. The list carries a reputation built on open skies, clean air, and a lifestyle that keeps people moving long after retirement begins. That steady activity is more than scenery. It becomes a financial advantage that compounds year after year. Colorado maintains some of the lowest rates of chronic disease in the nation, and that single fact changes the long-term cost equation. Fewer chronic conditions mean fewer specialist visits, fewer medications, and fewer emergencies that arrive without warning. According to current federal health data, Medicare spending per enrollee in Colorado remains noticeably below the national average, a reflection of healthier populations and earlier intervention. Those early detections prevent the expensive domino effects that strain fixed incomes. Daily life supports that same momentum. Trails, parks, and public recreation areas encourage steady movement, which directly reduces long-term medical complications. Even though housing costs run higher than many surrounding states, the actual lifetime expenses often balance out because because medical bills remain controlled and predictable. Groceries, utilities, and transportation stay within reasonable ranges, avoiding the volatile spikes that hit other high-growth regions. Insurance premiums benefit from the state's relatively low crime rates and strong infrastructure, keeping annual costs steadier than the headlines suggest. Colorado rewards movement, discipline, and long-term thinking, proving that a healthier life often becomes a cheaper life. With Colorado's health-driven savings clear, we now shift toward a state built on safety, calm streets, and steady market behavior. This next destination has reshaped its identity not through dramatic growth, but through the slow, quiet consistency that protects daily budgets. Here, residents benefit from a landscape where expenses shift gently, never spiraling without warning. It is the kind of financial environment that supports retirement with steadiness rather than strain. With Colorado's health advantage understood, the spotlight drifts to a region emerging from rapid growth into a new era of steady calm. If you want the rest of this breakdown as soon as it's released, subscribe to the channel. Every new report we cover is built to keep you ahead of the changes shaping retirement in 2026 and beyond. Idaho. After the wave of rapid migration finally settled, a clearer picture emerged, revealing a state that regained its balance and kept its streets safe. The surge of newcomers pushed home prices upward, strained small towns, and transformed quiet regions into fast-growing communities. But now the dust has settled, and Idaho has entered a new phase defined by level pricing, lower pressure, and crime rates that sit well below national averages. That combination makes the state one of the steadier retirement choices in 2026, especially for anyone who values calm streets and predictable monthly expenses. After several years of intense migration, the housing market finally cooled. Statewide growth has slowed to roughly 1.9%, allowing prices to stabilize rather than spike. A home that might have sold for $400,000 during the highest surge now often sells for closer to the regional norm. This calmer environment helps protect retirees from bidding wars, inflated appraisals, and other financial shocks that drain fixed budgets. Safety strengthens the appeal even further. Idaho's crime rate remains around 40% below the national average, according to the most recent federal reports. Low crime translates into more stable insurance premiums, fewer unexpected claims, and a sense of daily security that is hard to quantify but deeply felt. When the environment around you stays safe, yearly expenses follow the same steady path. Everyday costs reflect similar balance. Utilities, groceries, transportation, and home maintenance track near the national middle rather than pushing toward the extremes. Local medical networks continue to expand, and although specialized care may require travel in certain regions, the overall system stays reliable. Idaho offers breathing room at a time when many states feel squeezed. It rewards patience and careful timing, creating a retirement landscape that is easier to plan for and harder to unsettle. After Idaho's new balance settles in, attention lifts toward the quiet strength of the safest state in the country, Vermont. Safety has become a luxury in today's world, yet this state continues to deliver it year after year with consistency that shapes real financial security. When violent crime and property crime remain consistently below national averages by margins of more than 50% in many counties, the financial benefits ripple through every part of retirement. Lower risk means lower insurance premiums, fewer unexpected losses, and a daily sense of calm that money alone cannot buy. The stability does not stop at safety. Vermont supports a healthcare network that performs well across rural regions, with strong primary care access and high satisfaction scores recorded in recent federal surveys. When residents can reach dependable medical care without traveling enormous distances, costs stay controlled, and emergencies become easier to manage. Lower stress translates into better long-term health, and better long-term health reduces the chance of sudden medical bills that hit without warning. Housing remains reasonable outside a few high-demand towns. Many counties offer homes priced far below the numbers seen in coastal states, allowing retirees to secure property without overextending themselves. Property taxes vary by region, but remain predictable, giving residents a clear path for long-term planning. Everyday costs follow the same steady rhythm. Groceries, utilities, and home services track near the national middle, rather than spiking the way they have in faster-growing markets. Vermont's culture reinforces that financial ease. Communities are quiet, local businesses thrive, and growth happens slowly, rather than in disruptive waves. There is a sense of order order that makes retirement feel manageable, not pressured. People take pride in maintaining safe neighborhoods, and that shared responsibility becomes a practical financial advantage. From Vermont's unmatched sense of security, the final step leads to the state whose entire system still delivers the most complete retirement experience: Florida. Some places rise to the top because of a single advantage, but Florida keeps its lead by stacking multiple financial strengths into one complete package. The absence of a state income tax keeps several $1,000s in a household's pocket every single year. That single policy reshapes long-term financial planning, especially for anyone relying on fixed income today. Healthcare access forms the backbone of Florida's strength. The state maintains one of the densest Medicare Advantage networks in the nation, which reduces out-of-pocket costs by improving competition among providers. Cardiac, orthopedic, and general care facilities remain widely available across major regions. When specialty treatments do not require long trips or extended delays, medical bills stay lower and budgets stay predictable. Insurance has risen, yet the mathematics still favors Florida. Even with premium increases that reached double-digit percentages in certain coastal areas, the combined savings from tax policy, healthcare density, and retiree-oriented infrastructure outweigh those added costs. A household can still retain more net income here than in many inland states. The environment allows financial planning to focus on stability rather than constant corrective adjustments today. Daily living expenses support that stability. Groceries, fuel, utilities, and home services track close to national averages instead of escalating at the rate seen in fast-growth markets. Retirees also benefit from communities designed around convenience, with medical offices, transportation options, and essential services positioned within short driving distances. That structure reduces hidden costs that accumulate slowly, such as excess fuel usage and time lost navigating long commutes. Florida succeeds because its systems work rather than against one another. Taxes stay low, healthcare remains accessible, and services operate within a framework built to support residents. Retirement feels manageable because the shocks that appear elsewhere strike less often here. Even with insurance challenges, the equation still leans in favor of long-term value. With the evidence, Florida continues to stand as the most complete retirement choice today. If this breakdown helped you see retirement in a whole new way, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe for the updates coming next. The states are changing fast, and every shift could impact your future. Your experiences and questions help others plan smarter, so share them below. Thanks for watching, and stay prepared for what's coming next.